Another exciting week of Quinnipiac sports is in the history books, and we have all your coverage right here. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Q30 Sports Report brought to you by Q30 Television. I'm Tom Albanese, and today we will continue to look at the spring sports teams and give updates on where they stand now and learn which teams are close to clinching a playoff berth. But before we get to that, one player on the men's ice hockey team was honored this past Saturday. Freshman Sam Annis received the Tim Taylor Award from the Hockey Commissioners Association as the NCAA Division I Men's Ice Hockey National Rookie of the Year. Annis became the first Quinnipiac player in the program's history to be honored with this award. In his freshman season, he led the team along with all Division I freshman athletes with 22 goals and 43 points. These numbers led him to be selected as the ECAC Hockey Co-Rookie of the Year and being named to the 2014 ECAC Second Team and All-Rookie Team. Rand Pegnell talked about Sam winning the award, saying, quote, "We are very proud of Sam and all that he has accomplished this year. Along with Connor and Kellen Jones, they formed one of the best lines in college hockey this season. Sam was a major factor in Quinnipiac's top 10 national ranking. He is a great teammate, excellent student, and competes hard every day, both on the ice and in the weight room," end quote. One of the hottest spring sports teams as of late is the men's lacrosse team. The Bobcats are riding a 3-game winning streak, and they stand in second place in the MAC standings with a 3-1 conference record. After a full week of practices since their last game, they look to move closer to clinching a playoff spot as they welcomed in another team fighting hard to get into the postseason, the Canisius Golden Griffins. And now going right to the Q turf field where the Quinnipiac men's lacrosse team taking on Canisius. Bobcats looking to make it 4 wins in a row. In the second quarter, Canisius is up 3-2. Nick Tuttle has the ball and he moves to his right, avoids defenders and shoots and scores right there for Canisius. They take a 4-2 lead. Now just a minute later, Golden Griffins looking to continue the momentum. Jake Girano is at the top of the crease and he is going to nail that quick shot right there past Gil Connors. Canisius extending their lead 5-2. But Canisius does not think that's enough. Austin Romantic coming from behind the net. Here he comes, and he gets that goal right there on the bounce shot. Golden Griffins 7-2 lead into halftime. Going right to the fourth quarter, the Bobcats are trailing 11-4. Michael Sagal is going to find Matt Kaisha, and he brings the stick down and nails the low shot right here, 11-5. Continuing on, Dylan Webster is going to find Matt Deal, and he nails that quick shot past 5 Canisius defenders, starting to make it interesting. Quinnipiac trailing 11-7. Now it's Deal again who makes the high pass, but right there is Webster who gets the stick on it, and as he celebrates, Quinnipiac now only trails 11-8, and just a little bit later, they're going to make it another one. Ryan Keenan is going to put the one-timer in. Quinnipiac trailing only 11-10, and now only down 1 goal. Here's the shot, and it's just over the net, and take a look at this slow-motion replay right here as we have Webster who just misses that goal, and Canisius runs on the field celebrating. They have defeated Quinnipiac 11-10. Here is Quinnipiac's head coach Eric Feketa after the game.
Well, I mean, they definitely play a good slow-down possession game, and they hold the ball for 2-3 minutes at a time. And they, when they have those possessions, then they score at the end of them. The game kind of loses its air a little bit, and I think we got short-timed at the end. And again, I think with our team, it's not a matter necessarily of who we play, but how we play. And we made a lot of mistakes. It was 7-2 at one point and 11-4, and then we scored the last 6. You know what I mean, to get it to 11-10, and we had the shots at the end of the game we wanted to have. But if you fall in a hole like that, in hindsight, we should never fall behind. We should have had this game in hand probably in the third quarter.
Staying on the turf field, the women's lacrosse team has struggled this season, entering this week with a record of 1-9 and 1-2 in MAC play. Head coach Danny Carroll looked to get her squad back on track after they surrendered 23 goals to Canisius last weekend. They began the week strong with a 15-9 win over the Iona Gales on Wednesday. The Bobcats started the game strong by leading 10-3 at halftime and kept their lead throughout the rest of the match. Aileen Carey, Kira Aquat, and Carney Sneath all earned hat tricks in the victory. Up next was Senior Day as the Bobcats played host to the Marist Red Foxes, who came into the game with an undefeated conference record and was tied for first place with Fairfield. A winner could not be decided in regulation, so the game went to overtime. In the end, the Bobcats suffered a 15-13 loss to Marist in double overtime. Kira Aqua earned another hat trick with 3 goals, while Kathleen DeVito, Michaela Tinsley, and Carney Sneath each had 2 goals. The loss drops the Bobcats to 2-10 on the year and 2-3 in the MAC standings, just a game and a half outside of the playoff picture. Another hot team on campus over the last week is the Quinnipiac baseball team. After inclement weather canceled their first game of the week against Rhode Island, the Bobcats traveled to Hartford on Wednesday and earned a 10-4 win. Over the weekend, the Bobcats continued their road trip against the Gales of Iona. The Bobcats would complete a 3-game sweep of the Gales, winning 3-0 in Game 1, 2-1 playing 8 innings in the second game, and 6-0 to complete the sweep. Vincent Galletti led the offense with 6 RBIs in the team's 4 games. The Bobcats pitching staff continued its dominance as Matthew Lorenzetti pitched 6 innings against Hartford, while Thomas Jenkins and Brandon Shalakis each pitched complete game shutouts against Iona. The team has won 6 straight games, putting them at 7-3 in conference play. Opposite the success of the baseball team, the softball team is on a steep decline. Since Hannah Lindsley pitched her no-hitter, the Bobcats have lost 5 games in a row. They began the road trip suffering a 4-0 loss to Sacred Heart on the road, and then they were unable to take home a victory from Siena, losing 3-2 and 10-2 respectively. The team then traveled back home to try to get back in the win column, but they lost both games to Iona 9-2 and 13-3 in 6 innings. The few offensive boosts came from Sydney Roby and Abby Johnson, who each hit home runs. Quinnipiac falls to 4-8 in the MAC. And that's going to do it for another Q30 Sports Report brought to you by Q30 Television. For more information on all the Quinnipiac spring teams and everything else in Quinnipiac athletics, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Q30 Sports. Also, check out all of our sports coverage on Q30television.com. For Q30 Sports, I'm Tom Albanese. We'll see you next time.